Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. We have these trucks come in, pretty regular. Used to have them all the time. A lot fewer and far between now because not many of them are still alive. The older ones, the engines were good, but everything around it just fell apart. And here's one of the things. Exhaust manifold. These wouldn't even cut off. I ended up my boss heated it up with a torch and I reached in there with a chisel and just sideways to cut them off because the nuts were just cones like this. No flats left on them at all. Tapered down so nothing would hold. And all of the bolts were like that too. I started a video this morning with the tripod all set up. I'd had a bad morning. I woke up, things didn't go so well for this, that, and the other. I went outside. Half my shingles are in the county to the north, and the chicken house had exploded. So, bad morning. I got to work, and I'll set up the video, and I'll show you guys, just how bad this is. People think these bolts, they look good, they're still there, they look good. And I'll show you just how they're just busted off inside, and you just can't see it. I broke it loose, and it backed out, and the whole stud came out. Oh, wow, cool. And I reached down underneath, but this one here is going to be a bad one. And I broke it loose, and it backed out. Oh, my gosh, it came out too. Wow, today's going to be a good day. It is. Today's going to be a good day. And I put it on the next one and it rounded off. Okay. And then I tried to hammer it on there, put a different size socket on there, hammered it on there. And this is going to continuously get worse. So I shut the camera off. Well, you know how you start to go downhill and then you find a cliff? Oh yeah, went right off. Because I fought this one for 45 minutes. As you can see, it didn't come off. But it can't be stuck if it's a liquid. So yeah, that's what I resorted to. Here's something, and this was the reason I turned the camera on. Here is something that people ask constantly. Why do I have to replace it? About 2/3 of these that we've done, how much you put a gasket on this? You don't put a gasket on those. You put a manifold on. Well, the gasket's what's leaking. Why do you have to put them at that? And it sounds like you're trying to get to them. So we put manifold on there. We get dealer gaskets because the gaskets that come with the manifold are junk. And we get new studs from the dealer. That sounds expensive. It is. But it's the right way. Have we done things differently? Yes, we have. Which is why we do them this way now. All of the studs that I've gotten for these trucks, I tried putting them in there because, why should we pay this much from the dealer when we just get them from the parts store or something like that? And I screwed that thing in there and I twisted it off with a 1/4 inch ratchet. I backed it out. I put an old stud back in it because, this was over 10 years ago. So they weren't as bad as they are now. But anyway, we decided after that, dealer stuff. They're the right grade and everything. Just get dealer stuff. Just be done with it. And as to the next point, why don't we surface these manifolds and reuse them? Well, number one, these are always stuck. And half the time they're twisted off or rusted off. I've seen them rusted off until they broke right here. They just rust down and then pink. I've had a customer who was driving down the road and his exhaust fell off. It just went both sides. Once one broke, it just zippered the rest of them, just boom, boom, boom. And his wide pipe just dropped down, hit the frame, and his truck was all of a sudden loud. Now, second thing, the customer did see where this was leaking. He saw the black around this port here. These two bolts were the ones I figured would be rusted off because it was leaking out this way, and it was bad. I took his bolt out. I could reach back in here and feel the gap between the head and the manifold here. It was so bad. So, I mean, the manifold's going to be horribly warped. And as you can see, it's really, really rusty. Now, this is the second time that I've seen this. So if I can get it, the camera, right there we go. You see me? That's on the bottom side. You can't really get a good look at it from the outside. And since it was caked up with rust, there we go. It didn't crack. That's rust. It rusted through. My cousin had one of these. He come over, can we weld this up? And I looked at it, and you could look through this. This was a hole. It rusted a hole right here, and I could look into that hole and see the exhaust valve in the motor. He thought he just had an exhaust leak in a pipe. But I got the thing off there. I've got 4 studs that are stuck in the block that I'm going to have to see if I can get out, hopefully without breaking them. Because if I break them, I got to drill them. Warned the guy, hey, extraction, we've never had one where we didn't have to extract a bolt. He already knew. He had talked to enough people. He already knew, but it's wishful thinking. You know, well, mine won't be like that. It looked clean underneath. Mine won't be like that. I know. But they always are. I don't know what Ford did to these things, but I don't care how old it is. I don't care how much salt you drove in. Why does the manifold rust and fall off? Just. Does anybody got an answer? I'm going to go back. This is I got the manifold off. I got it sitting here. The new one down there. We got parts sitting over there at the dealership waiting for us to go get them. I should have this back together today if everything goes all right. So I'll get it back together tomorrow maybe. We just had a guy drive up wanting to put a light bulb in his Chevy Equinox. My boss went out there, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And I said, hold on. And he went out there and he looked and, no, we can't do that. Well, why not? You have to take the entire front end off the vehicle to do it. No. He's an old guy. You know, somebody that, no. Them people wouldn't, that's, common sense tells you have to change that all the time. They wouldn't build it like that. They did. Oh, when can you do it? Tomorrow afternoon at the earliest. So we've got a whole line of them in here. Just a headlight. Just a headlight. That's all you wanted. And it's a simple job. After you spend an hour, you know, dropping the bumper cover off, taking the headlight out, changing the bulb, putting the headlight back in, putting the bumper cover back on it. If you got everything ready, you're really thrashing and everything goes right, yeah, you can get done less. But he says, well, I'll just go over to the dealer, see if they can do it today. I need it done today. Okay? he's not going to be happy when he finds out that he spends 150 bucks putting in a light bulb. That's how it is. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. I'll talk to you later.